Started. Thanks for being here tonight for the April 2010 ECAC meeting. I'm Mark Turner, the chair, and we have Van Alston here, the vice chair, right here, and Sue Sturgis, our secretary, and Charlene Willard is our community services representative. And do we have our reporter here too? Okay, yes, I'm sorry, yeah, Rebecca, that's right. So Rebecca Fernandez is our reporter. Thank you. And we also are streaming this once again on the internet, so if you can't make the meetings, you're certainly welcome to watch online. If you haven't signed in already, please be sure you do so that we can put you on the newsletter mailing list. You can find out about things that are going on. Who here is here for the very first time? Okay, yes, quite a few hands. Excellent. All right, well, thank you for being here. We've got a lot of cool things to talk about tonight. We've got Bianca Howard. Where's Bianca? I don't even see Bianca. Did she make it here? She's supposed to be here. If not, then we'll just go through the recycling bins here at the gym and hold up various things and tell you about it. But she's supposed to be doing our presentation here. Hopefully we'll see her later on tonight. We also have Ronell Robinson, I guess, from the Food Lion, manager of Food Lion, is going to be here to talk to you. James Brantley has a word to say about the Z1809 case, the Pool Road 2-year waiver request that was just made, so he'll be briefing us on that. And let's see, Wake Girls and Boys Club. Do we have anyone here from? Okay. Hopefully they'll be here too, because we asked them to speak here as well. Fortunately for them, it's not a very far walk to get from there to here. Okay. Let's see. We do have the minutes posted online. We've got a summary in our newsletter. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes? Okay, we have a motion. Second, anyone? Okay. All in favor, say aye. Any discussion? Any requests or corrections? All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, good. Minutes are approved. Success reports for this month. Charlene would like to say a few things about the, but you have to come up here to the microphone because we're online now. We're doing this all high tech. Please don't trip over there.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm Charlene Miller, community specialist for the ECAC. And if you came in the door and didn't get one of these yellow forms, I ask that you fill it out. And we are taking a survey of the Community Services Department, which is where I work. And we really appreciate your feedback on how we're doing, what you know about us, and how we can improve. So if you would do that, if you fill this out and put it on that chair on your way out, I certainly appreciate it. And also, I am coordinator for the Raleigh Neighborhood College, and I think we have some attendees tonight. Would y'all stand up? Yay! There's one next to Lynn Sullivan and Michael Dixon. Y'all have any good words about Neighborhood College?
It's great.
It's great. That's two good words, okay? Lynn is actually a city employee.
And here comes Bianca, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about it, but it's a course offered twice a year.
Two sessions.
And it's just a great way to learn about the City of Raleigh, how it's governed and how it does business. And like we get to go to the 911 comm center and the community station and the wastewater treatment plant and we have the idea of financial open talk, the parks and rescue funds, and all the different departments come to the website and see how they do it. So it's really quite enlightening, and I can come here to the job that I do. It's been great.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And there's
The recycling queen of Raleigh, right?
The ECAC worked with Service Raleigh, I guess that was 2 weekends ago, and we coordinated with Service Raleigh I think it was about 40 volunteers, and they collected over 50 bags of trash. So that was fantastic. And if you went down Raleigh Boulevard for 3 days, it looked really beautiful.
I was actually on vacation during that time, and Van took over making sure to get those volunteers where they needed to go. So thanks, Van, for stepping up and doing that. I really appreciate it, and the neighborhood does too. We also have snacks, by the way, that was brought courtesy of Food Lion on the back table there. Feel free to get up anytime and help yourself to them. They all look good. In fact, I might be back there for the rest of the meeting, so see if the microphone will stretch or something. But go ahead and help yourself if you'd like. Let's see.
And
Yes.
Belva Fields also provided the paperware, the water.
Oh yes, is Belva here tonight?
No, she's not here.
Okay, that's right. She had another thing. But yes, thanks to Belva for doing that. It was very kind of her, and we're looking forward to working very closely with Food Lion. And I'll give you a moment here to speak here in just a moment. In fact, let's see. Anybody else have any other good news, success reports to share with anybody? Raise your hand. Okay. Cool. All right. We'll continue then, and Ronell, if you'll come up, speak to us a little bit, and tell us what's going on. We're glad to have you here.
Hi everybody doing today. I represent Food Lion. I know some haven't seen the field now in the store at all. Just want to say the story has changed. I was brought in to do some community things. I graduated from St. Albert, and also I have a nonprofit thing we wanna do is May first, the customer appreciation day from 12 to 4, which will be hot dogs, hamburgers, and fried fish, which is free, food line and also to give that organization. I just wanna address any issues that y'all might have with the store, please give me a call or talk to me in the store, and we'll address those issues and try to make it better for the customers. And also, the area is getting a little better. I know Raleigh PD is doing some things with cleaning up the area, and also, I'm trying to address some areas, and I know we're gonna do a collaboration with Raleigh PD with my nonprofit to try to give kids something else to do. Instead of staying around the store and shopping area, where we just, I guess, just encourage some of y'all by coming by, because I know they just stand around, and it's just crazy, but I'll leave some cards, here to address any issues, give me a call, and also look at the website for my nonprofit organization, which we partner with Blue Line and Raleigh PD. I know we talked with Raleigh PD of doing some things. I wanna bring, to this side of town, which I was housed at St. Augustine's College after school program from 5 to 9, which is Monday through Thursday, to help kids with education. Also, I released some business cards for that, so you can look at the website. I'm also working on a project of trying to bring a vocational school back to Wake County, which I think stopped back in the 80s, which is a very much needed because a lot of kids do not want to go to college at all. So the vocational school would be a great thing for North Carolina, because it's not one in North Carolina at all. So if you have any questions, give me a call. I'll leave some business cards here. If you have any questions now, I'll answer. But other than that, just moving on. I appreciate everybody coming back to the store. I think about 3 months ago, they just shut the food line down, because they were losing a lot of money because they fell. I know we started closing at 9, which we wasn't making a lot of money between 9 and 10. Actually, we was making maybe 5,000 and 6,000 walking out of there. That's why we closed an hour early. But wanna address that and try to make it better. Yeah, the math is kind of tough. So, but I'm thinking if it's gonna be an issue, let me know. I talked to my district manager. She wanted to come tonight, but she had another meeting with her manager. We try to go from the summertime from 9 to 10, stand over 10, and then back to the winter, back to 9 o'clock. So if it's an issue, let me know, and I'll try to address anything like that. Yes, sir.
Would you please, try and make it a habit of coming every couple months and letting us know how things are progressing? I'm particularly interested in vocations.
Yes. Anything you need me to do, I'll do it. Yes, ma'am. We close that one at 7, just because we have less people in the store to monitor that side, and that's where a lot of people walk out with meat and things of that nature. Yeah, I was at Southgate the other day, and I watched a guy walk out with 4 bags of meat. So it happens. It happens. Yes, sir. Right now, I just have it on paper. I've been talking to people, trying to find out where would be the best location. The best location I see right now is the old Winn-Dixie and the old Harris Teeter off Blue Line, because it's still on the bus line, so it wouldn't be an issue with like Wake Tech has one way on Capitol, but a lot of the people say they can't get there because of transportation. So it's in the working. Anything else?
What's your nonprofit? Your name?
It's the Give Back organization.
To give back?
Yes. And the website is gbocares.org.
I'm sorry.
gbocares.org or .com. But I'll leave some business cards here so y'all can have that. Anything else?
And your goal of your nonprofit is to promote?
The goal is actually why I started the organization was after I had a motor accident. And I grew up in Salisbury, and we didn't have a lot of programs to address a lot of issues that a lot of kids face now. I guess when I'm growing up, it was a little different, because I was scared. My parents were scared, like, yo, what is our lives going to be like with this younger generation? And I look at it now as, yo, it's going to be kind of hard. They don't have a lot of goals, and then with parents, being as young as they are, like I'm 32, and some people have 3 or 4 kids about the same age, about 10 years old. So they don't have a good sense of direction right now. So I want to provide that. And also I have another program I want to do is cyberspace, teaching elderly more about the web. and connecting with younger folks and different things of that nature. So I got a lot of things I want to do, but it's going to take me some time. Food line is taking away a little bit of my time. Anything else? And I'm glad to be a part of y'all team.
Thank you, Ronell. Put these over here on the table. If anybody wants to take them, they can pick them up. Once again, thanks to Food Line for our refreshments tonight. That's very appreciated. Okay, with that, let's turn it over to Officer Kraskowiak to discuss the crime trends in the area. Turn it over to you.
How's everybody doing tonight? For all the new people, I'm Officer Kraskowiak, aka Crisco. It's a lot easier to say. As far as Mark was talking before, the success stories, you can just look here and call it the success story. When I first came in here, it was 2.5, 3 pages long every time we were here. It's a page and a half. Okay, most of these are larceny from motor vehicles. It's just us being knuckleheads and not locking our vehicles, leaving our GPSs out, leaving our laptops on the vehicle seats, unlocking windows, leaving windows down. I think there were 17 larcenies from motor vehicle. One of them, only one of them, was not, I'm going to say, your area. Only one of them was forced entry, with nothing left out, nothing open, they just broke in the vehicle. And I think on that one, they punched the lock. So it was a pretty professional kind of person that did it. Because not just anybody can punch a lock. But so I go 17, only one of those, actually I'm sorry, 2 of them. One was by force and the other one was a lock. So 15 of them were just a result of unlocked windows, windows down, GPS system still off in the windshield, laptops, purses, iPods just laying out in plain view. I know one thing that we don't want to happen is a lot of places that has these tickets that say lock, tie, or something else. You don't want to
Lock taken time.
Yeah, lock taken time. To me, that's just like an indication, hey, this car's unlocked and there's something wrong. But if it gets real bad, they're going to start making us hang these out on the phone. And I want to refrain from doing that just because I don't agree with it. Other than that, we had 55 part 1 crimes. We normally have about 75 to 115 is what we normally average. Just a couple, I was supposed to have a meeting with the chief last month, but it got canceled. In that meeting, I ran some numbers from the crime analyst. The crime in this area for the year that we've had a community police officer take over has been down 4%. So I think that's a very good success story right there. 4%. It's not, it may not seem a lot, but it is. What else do we have going on? We had 9 assaults, aggravated assaults. Out of those 9, one of them was just a random one. But it was kind of, after reading the report, it's kind of like not so random, but the victim wasn't being cooperative. The victim didn't want to write a report. It was just, Wake Med called us there. We took the report because she was selfish. She didn't give any information, didn't want to tell anything. So we had to write a report anyway. So we don't know what happened there. By reading it, I think it was drug-related. Well, I can't say that it was because it wasn't written in there, but it goes with the norm of a lot of drug-related assaults. We had 2 assaults at Club Envy. They were the same incident. The rest of them were domestic violence related. We had, actually one was kind of bothering me. We had 3 out of 9 burglaries, residential burglaries, 3 of them were forced. The rest of them were kind of like open windows, back door was open, and I think one of them, the victim said that it was her son's friend that had broken in the house. But other than that, there's 3. One was forced through the back door. So make sure, I know that Wake County, Wake County or the city requires you to have at least 1 deadbolt lock on your door, whether front or back. I suggest 2. I mean, they're going to force it in, you might as well make them work for us, and they get caught, they're going to put them on the restitution. I have 2 in my house, so that they come in the back and the front. They're going to be lit up with a bolt lock. Another one was that first one, the back door was out on Walls Drive. I believe that's an apartment out there. The other one was on Gideon, another apartment. That was forced through the front door. And then there was one at 2501 Newburn. That was forced. The alarm company, or the alarm went off, and the subject quit. So we didn't get anything like that. you had 10 larcenies. Out of those larcenies, only one of them, I would be concerned about was a credit card fraud. We all know what to do with that. Make sure you have your credit cards, check your bank statements regularly. If you see something happening, call your bank, cancel your card, do all that stuff that you need to do. But just make sure that you are checking your bank statements and all that stuff every time they come in. I know I have a habit of just putting them aside because I know what I spend, but there's sometimes if you order stuff online, I had it happen to another officer. If you order something off the line, somebody fished and got his stuff, they spent over $600 on his credit card before he even knew. And now they're in the process because it happened. I think it was like in Bangalore or India or something like that. And it, you know, who knows who gets your money back? Sometimes you just take the loss. So you got to be more cognizant of what you do with your credit cards online. Other than that, we had five motor vehicle thefts. One was a Caterpillar work excavator. One was a repossessed vehicle, which I don't know why they wrote that as a theft. I know why. Because the person whose vehicle it was admitted to avoiding the repo company and went and parked it somewhere else, and then came back and it was gone. I don't know what happened with that one. So technically you have to write it up as stolen motor vehicle. Another one was somebody's mother took their vehicle, and I guess when we had one, it's a golf cart. A juvenile took a golf cart from the Raleigh Country Club, and then there was just one that happened once in the year, which was random. So out of those five, only one was random. We had one break, which was I had trouble reading the report. It didn't make any sense. And like the time frames and going from this place to this place, it didn't really make any sense. But they say it happened over here on Timberville. And it was just a woman who solicited a ride to go somewhere and offered the guy offered her $25 for a ride, and then something happened. She fell asleep several times during the ride, didn't know where she was going. She woke up on Timber Drive with the guy getting out of the vehicle, and I don't want to go too much into that, but the guy got out of the vehicle apparently and raped her. But she didn't want to report or anything like that, and she didn't want to give up her place for the rape kit and all that stuff. So that's kind of shady too. A lot of times when that happens, it's drug or prostitution related, but I can't say that it is, but that's the way it works. I know they don't want to give any information. They just want to be helped and get out of that situation real fast and want nothing to do with it. And we had 3 robberies. And one really shouldn't be a robbery, it should just be a person action, because that's what it was, a person action. They wrote it as a robbery. That was at Food Line. But with all those, you do have a success story. Wake County Sheriff did evict Messiah Fashions. They're out of there completely. I went by there today. I couldn't stop anyone. There was no way to stop. There was no vehicles in the parking lot. There was no gangbangers hanging around. There was no loitering. There was no trash out in front of there. There was nothing. It was like empty. That side of the parking lot was empty. And we tried. That's all we did today with our squad was go out and hit all the hot spots. We couldn't get anything off of the Messiah Fashions. We normally run into like 20 or 30 people there every day. There's nobody. So he's out. We were supposed to go to court with him last month, and I believe they made a deal, and the charges are still pending on that one. But other than that, I think May 1st we have the bill here, right?
That's right.
We also have, I believe that's when Marnell's doing his thing at Food Line. I will be both places. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'll switch back and forth. So I do encourage all of you guys to come out. We're going to try and get some more police officers to come out for both the Food Line and for this. Other than that, we're still waiting on the office. I don't know. I think Mark has a meeting with the chief sometime soon.
I will if I don't already.
Yes. Well, I'm quiet about that.
Okay.
But anyway, it's looking good. It's pinning up right now. I'm having problems at the Friendly Shopping Center over there, adjacent to Lake Med, across from Walgreens near Club Envy. A lot of trespassing. Has anybody frequented that place and had trouble with people begging for money and following you into the store, stuff like that? So I got a call up there. I think it's Teddy's. Spoke to him. Immediately located the person we were talking about trespassing. Haven't been up there in 2 days, so that's looking pretty good. So if we're scared to go there, we can go back. I know who he is. Took pictures. He lied to me at first. went back, sent out an email, another officer had ran into him in another place to find out who he was. So next time I see him, I'm gonna promptly take him to jail for basically lying to me. He was delaying my investigation, so by giving me a false name. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question, on CAC discussion list, there was an email about a car that has window smashed on Stevens Road. I didn't see anything except an aggravated assault.
Yes, that would probably just damage to property or something like that. And I normally just bring the part one contract, the robberies and all that stuff. If you would like me to bring
Well,
stuff,
that's what's taken
information.
out of it, that's why I was wondering. But then we found a person in the yard.
On Stevens Road?
I just happened to know the girl was black.
Okay. Now, I can take a look for that and have that in the email that to you if you want information on that.
I mean, I think that's right.
Back to 3%.
That's good, if only one crime was down to 3%, we wouldn't have much crime. But my next, Raleigh Health is doing really good, we haven't had a lot of problems out there, they've pretty much been policing themselves. So my next focus is gonna be going out to Calumet Drive and Holston Lane. If anybody lives in that area, and wanna give information or, anything that's going on in other areas, let me know. I'll go need some help out there, just because, it's primarily Hispanic, and there's a lot of crimes that do go undetected out there, and it's gonna be an effort. That's why I saved it for after Raleigh, because it's such a huge complex. And I know that Wake Med is wanting to get involved. I know that Joiner Realty, who owns the Family Plaza, is wanting to get involved. I know I've had several gang refugees out there, and there's just a whole ton of robberies, Hispanic targeted robberies. So if anybody knows anything about that area, please let me know. If you're willing to get involved, if you can speak Spanish and are willing to help out there, it would be great. We don't have very many Spanish-speaking officers that work at the same time, and if they do, they normally ride the line of busy, stuff like that. So if you can help out, maybe volunteer, I'm gonna get up to the office and see if they can help with volunteers. If they need people, or have a hotline or something like that, or maybe even, a comment box. Which I'm trying to get at Raleigh, I was gonna actually talk to right now, we're trying to get an RPD comment box, because you can see here, if you look to your left and to your right, there's not very many, it's not a big diversity of people that live in this area. It's primarily mostly people that live over here and down Ross, and there's a whole area that I'm trying to target that doesn't show up. So, and a lot of it is fear of the police, maybe just they're not comfortable with the police, they're not comfortable with being in this atmosphere. So I've been trying to post up a comment box where they can just drop in anonymously, hey, this apartment or this house or this person, and then once a week I can go in there, pull them, and get that information. Because I do get letters from people every once in a while, they come in the mail, they come here, but if I can give them a central location where they can drop off information and not have to worry about it, not worry about being seen and me coming to their house, I think that would work really well. Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what happened at 130 Longwood Drive? About mid-page, 416, in Grassy, last Friday.
Yes, somebody stole an air conditioning unit. So it wasn't something that happened in the middle of the night. It was probably something that happened in the middle of the night. And I don't know how big the air conditioning unit was, I didn't see in there, but if it's what's normally in the back of the house, it's pretty big, so probably an electric truck or something like that. They didn't go in, there was no suspect information, it was just that, I think it was a rental property, they came back and saw that the air conditioning unit was taken.
It's actually, it was empty because it was for sale, and now it's apparently been sold, so we're hoping it's gonna be sold, and it's 2 houses down from me. And I removed
A lot of times they do, they come in at night, and they're idling, pull it and go. Unfortunately, there's really rarely anybody out there to witness that.
I have a question.
Yes.
You mentioned that you were a community police officer, and how, for those of us who haven't been here before, what does that mean as to what used to be, what used to go on? And how has your position
Okay,
changed? And how you were doing it?
I've been here for a year. Community policing has started, when Chief Dolan came in. About a year after he came in, he actually established a community policing squad. And, we deal with community-oriented government. So there, once a month, actually we do ours on the 22nd, where we meet with different departments within the city. And when we sit there, it's kind of like a round table. I tell them what problems I have, they say, okay, well, I'm with inspections, I can come out here and I can do this and help solve that problem. You know, waste management says, okay, well, like, we had that problem with the trash at the bus stops. I talked to, Mr. White, who's the director of that, he said, once a week on Thursdays, I'll send 3 people out in a truck, and we'll go and look at those trash. Has it been happening? Has anybody seen them out there? If not, in our meeting, I will say something to them about it. Has it been happening? Has the trash still been really bad?
Well, you talking about what about school anymore?
I mean, wherever the complaints were, where there was trash at the bus stops.
Well, what they've done, I saw they added another trash can. That particular bus stop from me, which is on the corner of South and Bird City. That one there, the bus stop, they just pretty much empty there. But now they put another big plastic trash can across the street, right there where that, metal bar is, down from the street. And I've seen trash on the street, across the street at the neighbor's house. Real matter of fact, at my house as well, when balls, they come down and they throw out the window.
So it's still becoming
It's
a problem?
still, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll bring that up to them. That is a big problem. Anybody else have any, anyway, to finish my answer. So we work together with different aspects of the city to think outside the box, to solve crimes, and to deter crimes, and to clean up the community. And we still have the regular officers that answer 911 calls, but we also have one officer per CAC, like this could be CAC, I'm here for this one. So whatever problems you guys give to me, or email to me, or call me, I do what I can to send officers out there, say like the trash problem. When we had that meeting, I spoke to Mr. White. We had speeding problems, so I spoke to the traffic enforcement union, try to get them out, put I think it was Glasscock, or one of the streets on the list for them to do speed monitoring. One of the biggest complaints was the food line area in Raleigh North, so what I did is I went and I approached the management of Raleigh North, and I didn't really give them all ultimatum, but told them, hey, we have this thing called props, it's not good, you can lose your apartments, the ability to rent your apartments for 2 years, so that's a lot of money, and I didn't need to coerce them, they wanted to come on board, and they did everything I told them to do, they did all the shrubberies, they started evicting people when there were problem units, they started getting people taken off Section 8 that were violating Section 8, that had gang members in their houses, that had drugs being sold out of their houses, robberies getting out of their houses, stuff like that, and they started evicting them. And it got to the point where people were scared. Whenever the police showed up, they would say, you're not going to tell the man, are you? I don't live here, my girlfriend lives here, but don't tell the man, I'll leave right now. And he's like, no. No tolerance. For that whole summer, we had no tolerance. And now everybody knows. We've had maybe like 6 or 7 real big troublemakers, and they're evicted, gone, taken off Section 8. You can never get a Section 8 housing again in their lives, because they were dealing with drugs, gangs, robberies, all that stuff. I mean, it sounds kind of cold and heartless, but sometimes you gotta make a stand. We keep giving them our hard-earned money for $16 a month rent while they're letting gang members sell drugs out of their house, while they're going to clubs and bringing people back to their house to get robbed. I mean, we really want to support that. I'd rather give my money to somebody else who's going to utilize it, because I grew up in an area where my mom was a single mother with 3 people, and she used it just long enough to get herself stable. And I come here, I see people abusing it, and we're paying for it, and people are ignoring it. It's not fair to everybody else in the neighborhood that's actually using it. The kids that are out there playing in the neighborhood, I've never seen so many kids out there in my life now that all these people have been evicted and the gangs are going away. And I hope that happens to food line. Because now that Messiah Fashions is gone, there's nobody out there. Nobody, no gangbangers, nothing. They might over summer heat up a little bit, but that's what I'm doing to make sure it doesn't happen. We're going to have bike patrols, we're going to have foot patrol, all of it out there this whole summer. We're going to try and keep it as quiet, keep it down to that 4%, maybe bring it down even lower next year. And with Marnell and I working together, we're going to start holding some more community events out there, getting everybody involved so that people will understand that it's a community now. It's not, okay, east or west of Raleigh Boulevard. It's the ECAC that's coming together, have some fun, and do some community stuff. I know Mark has a cleanup plan sometime this year, and we'll bring some police officers out there and we'll help clean it up. But we need to all get involved to show that we're all willing to work together. And that's the only way it's really going to work. Yes, actually there was, and I apologize. I wrote it down so we speak about it. The president has, in his budget, not allotted money for the Project Safe Neighborhood grant. As far as we know right now, it's not been written in. So that, we're gonna have to go through another grant to get money to do that. Because as of right now, that grant is no longer existing. And that was the kind of grant that, gave us money for all this. We're gonna try and do the combined anti-gang initiative grant and take money out of there to help do that, but we have a year and a half left on that grant, and we already used a lot of that money just doing a lot of gang suppression. So as right now, it's on hold, as far as that, and I will keep you updated, and I have a meeting, on the 11th with the chief and the rest of the connect up, and we'll find out more about that now. So hopefully by our next meeting, I'll have more information for you.
Where is the police department?
It's still at 1601 Crossing Road, right adjacent to the library. Yes, ma'am.
I'm saying the main.
Oh, the main station? 64. I've never been in there. 16 Six Forks Road? Six Forks Road, I believe it is. Yeah, it's right where Six Forks and I think Sandy Fork split. It's right there. Is that the two roads split? But it's right up in there. It's hard to find.
64 Road, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Officer Crisco. If anybody has any individual questions for Officer Crisco, maybe you can meet him out in the hall and address
We
those.
still have these two if you want to take one home. They're not emergency concerns, just let your name if you want to, information on what you want. Say there's a specific house, like somebody called up, said there's a certain house on Downland Road. Go and check it out. We try to do some investigative techniques, find out that there's really nothing much going on, just, that stuff. But that really helps us out a lot. I can file it, put it in there, and then like responsive, like what we did on it, and check up on it, email everybody about it. So if you have that information, feel free to fill it out, give it to Mark, or just email it to me.
Okay. Thank you very much, Officer Crisco. Officer Crisco mentioned something that I meant to mention during the success reports. The playground build, Lions Park playground build, is actually going to happen Saturday, May 1st in the morning. You have to be pre-registered if you want to help out. They're looking for people that are 18 and over to come spend a couple hours putting together these pieces. And I found out from Cindy Trumbauer, who's the volunteer services coordinator with the Parks and Rec Department. They're not going to have as big a deal with this one as they do other ones. I think that the mulch, for instance, that they usually put at playgrounds is going to be delivered later. So that was one of the things that some of the other volunteers dealt with, is keeping this mountain of mulch they had to spread in some of these other parks. I understand that that's not going to be an issue here. She's still looking for 20 volunteers. She's already got 40, so they have to get 60 total. And the contact information is right here if you want to give Cindy a call or send her an email and say that you're willing to do it. There's going to be refreshments all day. There's going to be balloons. It's going to be kind of a festive party atmosphere. So if you're looking for something fun to do on Saturday, May 1st, please consider coming out and helping us build our playground. Yes, ma'am?
She's down to about 50 now. I signed up my Saturday morning basketball to get 10 spots.
15 now?
She's down to about 10 or 15.
Okay, 10 or 15. So there's still a couple of spots if you want to help with our neighborhood playground. So I thought I mentioned that too. Speaking of playgrounds and Parks and Rec, let me get Jason up here, if you would, to give us our Parks and Rec department thing, and then we're going to hear from James Brantley from the planning department.
Hope everybody's doing well tonight. All right, just kind of a little introductory of myself. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Jason Clemens. I'm the assistant director here at Lions Park. I'm a very busy guy. Just graduated from Winston-Salem State a couple years ago. Got my master's degree from High Point University last December. Very blessed to get this opportunity to be assistant director. Look forward to working with you guys. Also getting ready to get married in the next couple of months. Looking for a house in Clayton. Yeah. So if you guys know of any real estate agents that I can go through, please look me up, please. I'm gonna jump right into it. Our summer camp registration is underway. It actually got underway on March 1st. We're accepting walk-in and online registration, and that actually began on April 13th. Registration for the 2010 and 2011 school-based programs that includes track out before and after school. That's also currently underway. That actually began on March the 1st. Let's see, the City of Raleigh, along with several other partners, including Stewart Engineering and Frankie Lemon Foundation, are working on a project to renovate Laurel Hills All Children's Playground. The new playground will be named Sassafras All Children's Playground, and it will still be located, of course, at Laurel Hills. And for more information on that, please visit the website www.sassafras.org. Just to get into a little bit about what we do here at the center, some programs that we have. We have weight room membership that's $12 a month. If you guys haven't been, I forgot to tell you guys, look around, notice the windows, notice the floors. You guys were here 3-4 months ago. You noticed that the place had that 1960s kind of feel to it. Now it's more updated, tinted windows, shiny floors, and et cetera, et cetera. New bathrooms. Also, your bathroom is all pink. Christy, the director, Christy Jones, is the one that put that together. So blame her for that. All right, to get back in our programs, Taekwondo class meets every Tuesday and Thursday from 6:30 to 8. Bruce is the instructor. Bruce is real good, real hands-on. I did the class once, said I'll never do it again. Kinder Taekwondo is the same kind of deal, except for, of course, it's kids. They meet every Tuesday from 6:30 to 7:30. Class fee for that is $25 a month. Also running a cardio fitness class. They meet every Friday from 7:30 to 8:30. As far as what's going to happen this summer, we're going to have a super team summer basketball league. That's for all of our teen outreach program teenagers. Fee for that's going to be $20 per participant from the ages of 13 through 18. Some upcoming special events. Of course, Mark has alluded to this. May 1st, we're going to be doing our new playground. We need volunteers for 10 to 15 more. So you guys, please sign up. If you know anybody that's interested in that, please sign up. I'll be out here. Christy will be here. We'll have a DJ. Chris Moore, the director at Halifax, is going to be DJing this event. So we're going to look to have a good time. Registration begins, of course, for that at 8:30. We'll run approximately to around 3:30, so it's going to be an all-day event. Also, our Spring Fest this coming Saturday, that's going to be at Chavis. We're going to have rides, displays, vendors, food for the entire family, and that's going to get kicked off at around 12 o'clock. That's pretty much all I have. Any questions? Currently we don't, besides some flyers that, maybe like the optimist might send to us, that we'll hang up on the bulletin board. Of course, if somebody comes in and asks about swimming, we'll direct them to that.
I'm wondering if there's anything we could do to get more kids here. We had thought about signing our son up, and
Right.
everybody I talked to said, I've signed up in the past, but they got canceled and it's not getting anywhere else.
Right.
So, but seems like there's a lot of kids who benefit from it.
Yeah. And that's the funky thing. Sometimes with city program is you need a certain amount of registrants in order to run the program, so you can pay the instructors. So we're having to work on that. I'll tell you. Any other questions? All right.
All right, thank you, Jason. And then we'll hear from James Brantley from the City of Raleigh's Planning Department, talk a little bit about Z1809 and what's been happening with this. So turn it over to you, and Bobby, if you want to say a few words afterwards, that'd be great.
I only made 20 copies of that handout, so if you could share, that would be good. We've been warned about making extra copies and filling the recycling bins up too quickly. This is our budget.
The recycling is good, though, right?
Recycling is good.
Waste reduction is better.
Oh, waste reduction.
Waste reduction. This will just take a moment. I wanted to let you know that Z1809, the rezoning case that you've recently spent, I understand, a great deal of time discussing, was denied by the City Council. However, the applicant applied to the Planning Commission for a waiver of the 2-year waiting period.
Ordinarily, in such an instance, the applicant has to wait 2 years before resubmitting a case. If the case is deemed in the short term as being substantially different from the first case, the council can give them a waiver of that 2-year waiting period. So in this case, the planning commission has recommended that the 2-year waiver be granted. It's going to appear on the council agenda tomorrow under the report of the planning commission, and that's what the handout was. It's from the city council agenda, that particular item highlighted in the middle of the page. So at that point, it'll be up to the city council to either approve the request, deny the request on the spot, or move the request into one of the meetings. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know that that's something that has still bubbled up back to the surface. I think Bonnie was right on.
Good evening, I'm Bobby Poole, I'm chair of the Planning and Zoning Committee for the CAC. It was the Outreach Planning and Economic Development Committee before those two functions were split. But this is a matter that we considered for approximately a year or more, with numerous committee meetings, 2 CAC votes, appearances before the Planning Commission, appearances before Planning Commission committees, appearances before the City Council, City Council committees, and each step of the way the request was denied unanimously. So the request now, Danny Coleman's representative for the owner, is to rezone the property from residential 6 to actually I think it's neighborhood business versus shopping center conditional use. And from my standpoint, there's no material change in what he proposes. He was successful with the planning commission, and as James said, he is on the agenda tomorrow for city council action. And so what we would like to do, and I don't know, Mark and I discussed prior to the meeting, I, one way or another, intend to contact various city council members tomorrow to request that they either kill this matter or either defer it or refer it to another committee or the comprehensive planning committee where it was considered before. Again, it has consumed a considerable amount of everyone's time, members of the CAC and everyone else, and I'm unaware there's any change whatsoever in what the intention of the plan is. So what I would like to do is, if y'all are familiar enough with this, is to take a vote, and what I would do is email various members of the city council tomorrow and say the CAC had voted, ECAC had voted in opposition to the request for an extension, or if not, I'll do so in a personal capacity. I'll be honest with you, I think everyone needs a break for a couple of years, rather than spending another year and a half on this case again.
Pending the result of the vote.
Yeah, pending the results of the vote, of course. So, anyway, that's the issue before us. Are there any questions concerning what's transpired heretofore, or what the matter before you is? And Mark, any questions you have? Anyone?
What's the difference with the two?
Not a whole lot. Some setback issues, basically, as far as what we have been told, the desire of the applicant was to build a new and expanded convenience store, basically. So he would still be allowed to do so under the new rezoning request, correct?
I think the only substantial difference, as far as I understand, is that the zoning text now would allow residential uses. In the last case, residential uses were excluded. And the setbacks were greater for the neighborhood business that they would be in the shopping center.
And we had encouraged Mr. Coleman to come up with a mixed-use concept, which would include residential uses as well as retail, potential retail uses, not including the sale of alcohol, tobacco-related products, etc., due to its proximity to Poe Elementary School, and Sally Reynolds, who is principal of the school, has been very adamantly opposed to this request. So we again had encouraged the incorporation of residential in the development scheme. So Mr. Coleman, had mentioned that at the planning commission, but again, I'm unaware of what his plans are, period. He's not come to us, and he's made relatively clear that he prefers not to come back to us. I think that's an accurate statement. Mark, anything you'd like to add?
Just,
in order to take the vote in the CAC, you do have to be a resident. So only if you live in the actual ECAC can you vote.
If appropriate, I would request that all opposed to extension or allowing the waiver of the 2-year requirement, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We need a kind of vote, I guess, that would be good. Can you hold it to him, please? Sign it to him.
Opposed to the waiver.
Affirmative to oppose to the waiver.
There's a,
Yeah, we're voting.
you
It
can't,
needs to be worded a little bit better, Mark.
okay.
Let's do it this way, okay. Let's take a vote on who's opposed to the granting of this 2-year waiver. Anyone opposed, raise your hand. Opposing the waiver grant, 2-year waiver. And if someone can get a count, please. Okay, all opposed,
Now, who's for
all
the waiver?
for granting the waiver, same sign. Okay. All right, that'll do it, thank you.
Let me, while I'm up here, go ahead and do my part, if you don't mind.
Very opposed to the opposition.
Yeah, sorry about that. While I'm up here, two additional quick items. For those that are new, the city council in, I think November of this past year approved the planning department conducting what's called gateway studies. That's New Bern Avenue and Capitol Boulevard, doing comprehensive studies of transportation, infrastructure, land use planning, zoning, etc. The goal trying to be to improve the corridors leading into downtown Raleigh, essentially from the Beltline downtown and Capitol, and the Beltline downtown on New Bern Avenue. So Mitch Silver, planning director, appeared before us last month and gave a very good presentation on the studies. Where we are currently on the Capitol Boulevard study, that will begin, both studies will begin in June. On the Capitol Boulevard study in particular, on March 31st, myself and another gentleman convened a meeting of the planning director as well as 25 major business property owners along Capitol Boulevard to discuss that study. Which went very, very, very well. There was no commitment to create any kind of entity, which is what we were trying to do, which they would advocate ultimately for improvements to the city council when it comes to budget time, etc. But it was a very good meeting. The next step is on May 4th, myself and a number of folks will meet with the leadership of the North Carolina Department of Transportation. That is a state road, both are state roads, so therefore their participation and involvement in support of these studies is absolutely critical. So Nina Schlossberg, who is a DAT board member here for Wake County, set that meeting up, and this is a very, very big meeting with maybe 20, 25 people. A lot of discussion on a lot of issues, including funding, federal funding sources, and so forth. So that's on Capitol Boulevard. On New Bern Avenue, the planning department's in the process of finalizing the work plan, or it's called a scope of work, which will be done, and that study will start in June. So both studies will be occurring simultaneously. There will be substantial citizen input sessions where you'll attend meetings and look at maps and create vision plans and that type of thing. So you'll hear much more about that, but that's the status of those two studies. And they will have substantial impacts on our neighborhoods, without any question. So any questions on that item? Yes, ma'am.
Does your committee include residential development or just commercial?
Both.
Do you know anything about the Habitat for Humanity development that came up a couple of years back? I haven't heard anything else about it.
Development itself, or
Or it was Walford neighborhood?
have not heard a word. They do have a house under construction down on Venus Avenue, but I'm not familiar with
They
what.
purchased this deal and came and talked. I think they bought the rights to the deal off of Bill Bank. But
Did they acquire the property? Okay. I'll be more than, I know those folks personally, I'll be more than happy to check on them. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to check on them.
I could be wrong about this, but my understanding of the habitat issue there was they wanted to do some sort of one-way ingress, egress thing, and the fire department shot it down because they couldn't get their trucks turned around in the parking lot. So as far as I know, nothing ever happened to it, and it's been kind of in limbo now.
Who's doing the planning for the gateways?
That's an internal cities actually doing those. Due to lack of funding, it's typically third-party consultants, but in this case, it's various planning department members and various other city departments.
Yes, sir.
I'd also throw out tomorrow night, because I think the zoning will be on the day agenda, but tomorrow night at 7, they'll have a public hearing on the uniform development ordinance, which will impact the new gateway, so a lot of them will be there. Wake Up Wake County's site has a lot of information on that gateway plan as well, so.
Okay. Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
One other thing I'd also like to mention, I never got a chance to send this out to the mailing list, but I did put up the draft document for the Capitol Boulevard scope of work. So if you go to the eastraleigh.org website, you can download that, and it's got a lot of detail about what the city is looking at right now, and it's of course subject to change, but good insight into what the city has planned for Capitol Boulevard. Right. Thanks, Bobby. Let's see, Keith, did you want to give a report on your committee? Okay.
Sure.
Keith Emmerich, we're going to hear from the Economic Development Committee and then go straight to the office.
Hi, I'm Keith Emmerich. I'm chair of the Economic Development Committee, which used to be part of OPED, but now we are all a participant in separate definitions. We met about 3 weeks ago for the first meeting. There was about 7 people there. It was a really productive meeting. We're looking forward to meeting again next week. We discussed 3 main questions. The main one, exactly what did we view as needing to be improvement within the CAC? Like, what are we looking to even focus on commercially or residentially? And who do we need to talk to do that? And exactly what would culturally relevant economic development look like in our CAC? So those are kind of the major questions that we wrestled with. And since it was the first meeting, we obviously not changed yet. But we're on our way. It's surprising that we're really happy. There's actually a surprising amount of stuff that's kind of taken off already. In terms of kind of intangible action items that we're working on, different members of the committee. One person spoke with RBC about their, I think it's a Community Reinvestment Act representative. And so we're looking at trying to set up a meeting with that party. They said they're interested in meeting with the subcommittee, so we're looking forward to that. And also another member of the committee is going to be, or has reached out to St. Augustine's, just because they obviously have an interest with their proximity to our CAC. They're not living in the boundaries. But obviously what happens in our CAC influences them. So we reached out to them, and I believe one member of the committee is going to be meeting with them, kind of in an informal capacity, just to discuss and just to touch it, just to let them know what we're thinking and see what they're thinking. So if there's anything to report back, that would be glad to do so. And we're also just trying to look for ways just to work with people who have an interest in our part of town also. Because a lot of the things it seems like that come to us are we react against what developers want to do in our part of town. And whether it's zoning things like getting plumbing opportunities representing. I think what we're hoping to do is maybe be proactive instead of reactive. So I mean it depends on who you talk to, but it sounds like at times our CAC has gotten the reputation as denying a lot of things. And that obviously it sounds like that may be happening at the moment. Again, someone's subverting us, and I think we're hoping to be positive and proactive and see what we can do from our perspective and going to other people and trying to encourage things versus kind of reacting against what's coming to us. So, I mean, just to try to put some thoughts together. I'm not trying to be negative, but I mean that's without trying to develop something, you have to figure out where you want your opinions about where we are and what we're trying to do. So we're just trying to reach out and see what people are interested in talking with us and just kind of go from there, so.
Want to mention when you meet? So
Yeah, we're setting up the next meeting right now, but, the last meeting is in the last Monday of the month, so that'll be a week from now. I'm trying to set it up for, assuming we have space to meet here or at the Raleigh Country Club, which is where, Christian was nice enough to allow us to meet, over there last time, so. And we're really trying to have a diverse perspective, about what economic development should look like in East Raleigh. So, if a few, if you want to come join us, or just come talk to me, we'll come have you. So, thanks.
For the meeting, sure, we can do that. And I've got some business cards too with information on the website and how to sign up for the mailing list and stuff. So you can take one of those with you. You can get signed up, and we'll make sure that you know about it. Oh, for that one. Okay, right. Okay. Yeah, the Economic Development Committee and the Planning and Zoning Committee will soon have their own mailing list where they can conduct business amongst themselves, and anybody, of course, can join that if they want to find out what's going on. And I might actually create a separate list for the Capitol Boulevard, New Bern Avenue projects too, but that's further down the proverbial road. Okay. With that, let's go ahead and welcome our special guest tonight, Bianca Howard from the City of Raleigh's recycling. I guess she's the education specialist, so can't wait to hear what she has to say. Oh, Boys and Girls Clubs. Yeah, we'll make sure that we get you in here too. Thanks for being here too. All right, Bianca starts off.
For the trash. I know where you work. Can everybody hear me? Do I have to use that?
yes, you
All right, sorry, I do have to use that. Good evening. My name is Bianca Howard, and I'm glad to be back. It's been about 2 years since I spoke to CAC. Those of you who have heard me speak before know I don't go anywhere without my trash. So I will be brief, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Mark invited me tonight to talk about what's new with Raleigh recycling. In some ways, not much is new, but in other ways, we've got some very big changes on the horizon. I'll start with 2 things that are ending very soon. First, who's had a phone book delivered to their house recently? We've seen a lot of those. Once again, we are asking that you not put those in your recycling bins. It's a very cheap grade of paper and degrades the value of our recyclable materials. Instead, we've worked with our processor, Sunoco Recycling, to accept those and recycle them separately. This year we have 6 different locations where we recycle those. I'm going to pass around a list, and I'll also make sure it gets up here at the table. So we have a number of special locations out until May 1st. And there's a box at my office at 400 West King Street. There's also a box at JC Park. There's a box at Atlantic Avenue, and there are 3 others. So if you do get any phone books in the next couple of weeks, please consider taking advantage of those to recycle them. If you get phone books beyond that time, you can recycle them all year round at 2 Wake County locations. Those locations are North Wake and South Wake. North Wake is the old landfill off the ramp road, and South Wake is the new landfill in Holly Springs. I'll leave a few of our brochures here. The addresses and phone numbers are in there. We are also promoting the phone book opt-out through a link on our website. So if you'd like to reduce the number of phone books you get next year, please visit our website, and on the phone book page you can find a link to that to try to reduce that. I think it might be working. It's either that or the recession. Last year I got 7 different phone books. This year I've had only 2, but I did do the online opt-out. So whether it's the economy or the opt-out working, I'm not sure. Are there any questions about telephone book recycling?
I don't have a question, but I have a statement. I went up there, with the old Kmart, up on New Bern Avenue.
Okay.
Now, in that parking lot, there are a lot of tractor trailers that are parked up there. And they are where they distribute phone books to people that are delivering. Okay, I went by there the other day just to find out where I could take my phone books. And the girl told me, just put in your recycle bin, just put in your recycle bin. So you all might need to get up there and contact whoever is running that operation and let them know, no, don't put it in your recycle bin. I didn't. I still got them sitting, so I said, I'd wait because they said you could come.
Okay. I should have told you to bring them tonight. I couldn't take it. That is good to know, and that is something we should think about next year. This year, the only support we got from the film book publishers was that they gave us a couple of banners to put on big boxes. In the past, they used to work with Lake County to help pay for the production of the film book. That's not really happening anymore, but that's a good suggestion that we need to work more closely with the Overseas people, maybe to make so that they're aware of how we'd like to have them recycled. Any other questions about the film book? Okay. The other thing with NBC, besides the phone book collection, is Raleigh Recycling Book. How many of you remember getting a sticker, a mailer like this last fall? Okay, I wish there was more hands. This went out to all the addresses we could verify that were our customers. Our customers in single-family houses and townhouses who have garbage pickup with the big green card. So we mailed about 106,000 of these out. We've been, ever since November, we've been driving around in a Prius that was loaned to us by Coca-Cola, and we've been sneaking through people's bins. So if you ever think you've seen me in your neighborhood looking through your bins, you probably have, because I'm one of the people who does the crowd control. This goes on just for 2 more weeks, this week and next week. So it's not too late. You have a green bin and you don't have a sticker and you want to have the chance to win a $50 gift card from Harris Teeter, take a sticker tonight. We're still checking bins for the next 2 weeks.
Almost done.
Now why are we doing this? The reason we did this was one, to get people re-energized about recycling. Those of you who've lived here for a while, remember that we've had curbside recycling since 1989. That's a really long time. But a lot of people move here from other communities, other states, other countries, and aren't aware of what we recycle and why. Because it's a little bit different everywhere you live, right? So the other reason for doing this campaign is that it allowed us to see what's working and not working about our educational campaign. Remember how I said that in some ways not much is new with recycling? That's true. We haven't added any new materials in 4 years. Haven't added anything to the list. We still take gable top cartons, aseptic boxes, glass food and beverage containers, plastic food and beverage bottles, paperboard, including paper towel rolls and toilet paper rolls, white paper and junk mail. You all didn't know you didn't show with health newspaper, corrugated cardboard boxes, as long as they're not any bigger than 3 feet by 3 feet. Aluminum, actually any metal food and beverage cans. And clean aluminum foil and trays as long as they are clean. That is what we're taking. And those are the only, I'm sorry, one more thing, 6-pack rings. If you still buy 6-packs instead of 6-packs, the soft rings, we take those too. Those are the only materials we want to see in your bin, and the only way you'll win the $50 gift card from the prize patrol if you have only those items. Now, I thought this would be hard, right? I thought everybody's bin would have a sticker. I thought everybody would be recycling the right things. And it really opened my eyes to how we need to do a better job of educating you all about what we take. Because some of you said you got this sticker in the mail, right? You got this email? Now, to put the sticker on your bin, you had to open it, right? And when you open it, you would have seen the materials you want to see in the bins. Every week, when I'm out doing prize patrol, there are bins that are full of things we do not take. Some of the biggest things that keep people from winning? Styrofoam. We have never accepted any form of styrofoam. Maybe we didn't leave it behind, but that didn't mean that was bad. Styrofoam keeps people from winning, recycling wins. Another huge problem are any plastics that are not bottles. If they're not bottles or 6-pack rings, you're better off not putting them in your bin, because they'll just get thrown out when our bins and our trucks get to the recycling center. So yogurt cups or Cool-Whip tubs, don't put them in the bin. Because if you have stadium cups, don't put those in the bin. Another really big problem are all those bakery containers that cookies come in from the bakery, deli trays, produce boxes. None of those are recyclable in our program, and you will not win $50 gift card if those are in your bin. The final thing I see, plastic bags. I see a lot of people using plastic bags to hold their materials. It's great that people are recycling so much. We would be happy to give you an extra bin rather than have you put stuff in plastic bags. We have a special program for heavy recyclers. If you don't want to pay that $6, I can give you a free bin under that program. But that would actually be better than bagging your newspapers and your bottles in plastic bags, because the plastic bags have to be opened at the recycling center, and they're lined up in a pile as tall as this room at the end of the day, and they're all going to recycling. So if you want to recycle your plastic bags, or even film like this, taking the food line, taking the Harris Teeter, taking the Target, they're recycling plastic bags now. But please don't put them in your bin. You're not going to win the prize, and more importantly, they're not going to get recycled if they go in your bin. I know I've been really negative. All right, do you have any questions about what we take? What we don't take?
Milk cartons.
Yeah, milk cartons. I don't drink a lot of milk, so there aren't a lot of milk cartons. But the plastic milk cartons, yes. Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to plastic, we take the soft six-pack rings and bottles. Bottles are different colors, different sizes. They're always smaller at the top than at the bottom, and they usually have a cap that screws on. So there's a lotion bottle, a juice bottle, a milk jug, a soda bottle. Those are all bottles, and we do take those. We want to see the bottles. In fact, it's a state law that all plastic bottles, except those that contain motor oil or pesticides, should not go in landfill. So we want to see the plastic bottles in the bin, and they do get recycled into your products. Which reminds me, the next part of my show and tell, has anyone seen a sticker like this show up on their trash can? That's sad. I'm going to pass these around. What about cereal boxes? Or cereal? She asked about cereal boxes. Cereal boxes are considered paperboard, and we do take that. So this same sort of material is used for cookie boxes and cracker boxes and shoe boxes and pasta boxes. We do want to see that in the bin. Okay, the sticker I'm passing around is another educational effort. It's not just for Raleigh, it's actually for a lot of cities across the state. Since October 1st, plastic bottles have been banned from the landfill. We've partnered with some other cities and towns and the state of North Carolina to buy a bunch of labels. And we've been working with some of our employees to put those on your trash can. So if you ever get home one day and see that sticker on your trash can, that's why. It's just a way of reminding you that aluminum cans and plastic bottles are banned from landfill because they should be recycled. It saves energy and money to recycle those. So we have been doing them slowly. We have about 110,000 houses we serve, and a few more carts now because people have 2 carts. So it's taken us a while to get those out. And then we've also been working with some CACs. If you're interested in volunteering to put them on carts in your neighborhood, we'd love to have your help. Right now we're doing them as we have some extra time, which isn't too often, typically on Thursdays or Fridays, and our route's a little bit lighter. So if you do see that sticker on your bin, on your cart, it's not that we're judging you. It's not that there's something in your cart that didn't belong, but we just want to remind you that those things should be recycled. Do you have any questions about this? Yes.
No caps on glass bottles.
The caps are not really valuable, and chances are they are going to come off when the glass gets broken at the recycling center. You can throw them in, but I can't guarantee that they're going to get recycled. It's really, and the recycling center that we use is set up to grab the aluminum cans and the steel cans. It's not set up to capture the caps. Pretty well. We did a pilot program last fall in cooperation with public utilities. It was pretty successful. It collected over 800 gallons of oil, but it was just a pilot. And it is the bottles. Oh yeah, we take those. Sorry, I thought you wanted to. I was just going. I thought you wanted to recycle your juice, but yeah, the only bottles we don't want to see in a recycling bin are those that contain motor oil or pesticides. You don't see a whole lot of pesticide bottles out there, which is what you could. I have seen a few motor oil bottles in people's recycling bins, and that goes to people. One more thing. So I said that not much was new. And when it comes to materials, nothing's new. I'll leave these magnet up to help yourself. These are the items I mentioned. I think I mentioned all of them. And these, again, are the only items we accept right now. So they're the only items we want to see again. It doesn't mean there aren't other places to recycle some of these things. But these are the only items we accept through our contract with City of Raleigh. anything about the City of Raleigh going to parks? Have you read that recently? Yeah, okay. So a few months ago, the City Council unanimously voted to remove recycling from these little 18-gallon bins to big 95-gallon totes. And at the same time, to reduce our recycling workforce by transitioning from a two-person crew like we have now to a one-person crew like we have with the garbage collection in most of the city. So that is happening, but it's happening slowly. It's going to be phased in over 4 years. Starting in July, we will start collecting some of the city that way. And we're starting with the outskirts, so areas like Leesville Road, areas way up, much farther out Newbern Avenue than you all are. Those are the areas where we're already using rear loaders now, which is the kind of truck that's very similar to what we're going to. So that is kind of how we're phasing it in. So chances are you all will not see any change in the next year because we're slowly phasing it in. One thing we've learned with this recycling win campaign is we need to do something with it. You know, we've been using a lot of words and what we take. We have this big brochure in English and Spanish that we're real proud of, but clearly, it's not working for everybody. One thing that the carts will have that we don't currently have is they'll be embedded with pictures of what we take. This sticker is something we use in some of our apartment complexes. So depending on where your apartment complex is, your containers might have a sticker like this. I'll just give you that and I can look at it. So we are in the process of accepting a bid for the recycling carts right now, and the lids will actually have pictures of things we take. We hope that'll be helpful. And we're also looking again at what we can do better when it comes to education. We've done newspaper, we've done TV, we tried Spanish language television with this contest. So if you have any suggestions on how we could do a better job, I'd love to do that. Are there any questions about our new carts?
I know some cities with a little bigger carts, they only collect twice a month, or they'll be selling it every week.
No, it's going to be every other week. Sorry, that's a big part of it. So yeah, we are going to be getting bigger carts, so more space to put your recyclable containers in, fewer people, one person instead of two, and less frequent service. So it's going to be every other week. When it does come in your area, you'll get a postcard saying it's coming before the cart arrives. And again, we're not looking at doing it in the inner parts of the city right now. We are planning this first year to start with the outer areas. That's always a big question, right? It's going to be blue. Right now, we are trying to resolve a dispute between two different cart companies that bid on the carts. But yeah, we are looking at blue carts. So it'll be very similar in shape and size to your garbage cart, but it will definitely be a different color.
What are you going to do with the old one?
That's a very good question. You'll be welcome to. There's more than one answer. Yeah. So if you want to keep your bin, you're welcome to do that. If you want to keep it indoors, because you're not going to bring a 65 or 95-gallon cart indoors, you're welcome to keep it. If you want to recycle it, we're going to make arrangements for that. We already do that right now with our broken bins. So if you have a bin that's held together with duct tape and prayers, you can actually call the city for a new bin, and we will do our best to get that to you as soon as we can. So right now we collect the broken bins that do come back to us, and every 6 months or so we work with a plastic broker to sell those so they can be recycled into something else. And we take that seriously. The bins we buy are also made with some recycled content.
I'm curious, looking at the size, you say that the bins are deep. If you have paper, then you have cardboard boxes, then you have aluminum, then you have cartons, then you have the, do you take paper, toilet paper rolls too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So I should have paper towel roll, but we also take paper.
And you said you're gonna have one truck now, just like you had, well, right now you pretty much got that when it comes to recycling. What I've seen in past on my house is only been one person, and they would get out and, toss, so if you're looking at that size container, and you say you don't want any plastic bags, so separating that, is it gonna be the same way it does the solid waste, come up and just dump?
With the automatic garment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, most of the city will be done that way. We know there's some areas of Raleigh you'll never be able to do automated recycling collection because we can't do automated garbage collection. So So in areas where there's a lot of on-street parking and really narrow streets, we'll have to continue a two-person crew in those areas. But we think, we know we'll be able to do the vast majority of the city with the automated collection. And that is, the cheaper way to do it with just one person.
More than picking your big places, or do you?
You have a couple options. If you want to buy, right now, with the little bins, right now, you can buy a second bin for $6. You can also use something that's similar in size and shape like a laundry basket. So we're happy to pick that up. We just ask that you use something that has handles, and a laundry basket is a good example. If you use something like a tall, narrow trash can, that's not quite as safe for our crews to lift. And right now, they're collecting plastic bags, but the inefficiency comes with the recycling center. Every one of those has to be open before the materials can go through the conveyor belt to the machine to be sorted. Great. And speaking of sorting, if you've ever wanted to see where your recyclables go, I do give tours. So if you're interested, seriously, date night. Or date afternoon, because it has to be during the day. But we do, as part of our educational program, we try to give a tour there every quarter. So if you're interested, sign up. If you're on our email list, you'll hear about it when the next one's scheduled. If you're a scout leader or a church leader, a book club leader, and just want to go, let me know, and I'd be happy to arrange the tour for you. Are there any other questions about what we take? Just for fun, I've got some Earth Day tattoos. I'll put those temporary tattoos. I will put those on so you can be ready for Earth Day, which is Thursday. Any other questions? Yes. We pick up recycling on the same day as your garbage if you have a green bin. At apartments, we pick up once a week. It's not necessarily the same day every week, but we pick up once a week. Okay. Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bianca. Yeah, she doesn't have somebody to pick up for her, so something. Thank you very much. Informative as always. And for our last presentation, sort of special guests, we have the Wake Boys and Girls Club who've agreed to be here. We got Miguel and Nikki who's going to come up and tell us a little bit about what they do, and we're happy to have them. Let's give them a hand for doing it.
Thank you, guys. As he just said, my name is Miguel Taylor, and this is Nikki Graves, and we represent the Boys and Girls Club of Wake County, and we wanted to come here and share with you guys tonight about the Boys and Girls Club of Wake County. I'm pretty sure you guys, a lot of guys that live in the community, don't know anything about the club, so we just want to talk a little bit about the Boys and Girls Club. First off, we're a youth development agency. We have 7 clubs in Wake County. 2 of the clubs, Nikki and I represent here in Raleigh. She represents the Raleigh Girls Club, and I represent the Raleigh Boys Club. Things that I like to talk to people about in regards to the club is it's a safe place for kids to come, a place for the kids to grow, and a place for the kids to come and learn different values about life. Nikki's been in the organization a little longer than I have, so she can share a lot of stories about the club from her experience dealing with an all-girls club.
Like Miguel said, I've been around here for almost 10 years. Will be November 1st. I've worked with numerous amounts of girls. Right now at the Girls Club, I have 793 registered members on a daily basis. I see anywhere from 187 to 200 girls a day, and they come from about 20 different schools. We do offer a large variety of programs. A lot of them are run by myself, part-time staff, as well as volunteers. One thing that is unique about the Boys and Girls Club that it is $7.50 a year for a kid to come to the club. That's all we charge. If they come during the summertime, we do charge a little bit extra. It's $25 a week or $5 a day, and they only pay for the days that they attend. We are open 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the summertime. During the school year, we're open from 2:30 until 8, and anytime school is out, we're open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So, as you can hear, you know, Miguel grew up in the clubs. I've been around for 10 years. Boys and Girls Club has been a constant in the community, and we're here to help, you know, we're here to help young people. And if you know young people that want to be in the clubs, that are willing to take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of them, and that are willing to follow the rules and ready to be challenged, then, you know, suggest them to come to the Boys and Girls Clubs. I have brochures up here that tell what the clubs are about, the programs that we offer, the 7 clubs that we have. Like Miguel said, we have 7 clubs in Wake County, and we have over 4,000 kids signed up just throughout Wake County. We also brought summer registration forms if you have young people, grandchildren that you want to get signed up, as well as membership applications for you all to take. If you're interested, we'll give you more details. I have an orientation this Thursday night at 6:30. You have one, is it Wednesday night? Wednesday night at 6:30, so everybody that comes to the club has to go through an orientation. Just as you're sitting here now, we'll go over rules and expectations with the parents, and we'll take the kids around the club and do expectations with them as well.
One more thing I would like to say, and to kind of piggyback off of what Mickey just discussed with you guys, we want the club to be a staple in this community, and we really appreciate, you know, Mark, you know, giving us this opportunity to come share with you guys about the club and what we have to offer in this community. And also, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but you have a grandson that comes to the boys club, and she's a really big supporter of the boys club, and she's one of the reasons that we're here tonight, and we want to thank her for, you know, opening up, you know, our minds and our ideas, you know, about the community here in Raleigh.
And I'd like to know that I did submit you all for the grant to be given, so we can get some of those funds that we had to. I didn't come last month, the month before, I was doing your first one, and we asked for, you know, I saw a need there at the club that, you know, a lot of things need to be done as far as renovation and everything. So I submitted them to a foundation for a possible grant. Haven't heard from you, but it's there, so we're working on it. And I appreciate you all coming. I appreciate Mark inviting me back in. Keep on coming. And my name is Bianca.
Do you guys have any questions for us?
That's Miguel's fault. I know my period. That's the age of hitting screen right there. I know mine.
That's a girl thing.
Thanks for coming out. Feel free to come back anytime. If you've got anything to announce, we'd be happy to have you here. So, all right. Are there any other things that we want to go over before we? Okay, just 1 second. Yes. Yes. Go ahead. Sam.
Comment and request.
Okay.
I missed the February meeting, but it was brought to my attention that my neighborhood has been running trash pickup during the month of June, and I think it would be a good idea in the next communications going out that we would make an announcement with all communities involved with that curbside trash pickup, and possibly identifying the items that the city will carry away, not carry away, so it won't be a problem.
All right.
It's approaching.
Charlene, you want to address it?
Yes, you'll be sending a postcard about 2 weeks prior to that
Okay.
Event, and we will have all that information in
Okay.
there.
Very well. Another thing, I think the award that CDC probably represent, I mean, they're not you particularly for the community, that's the community watch. Now, is there an application that we need to complete to get those signs so that we can?
Talk to me if you want.
We need to get that ready as well. Okay.
Yeah, what we're doing.
Okay. Anyone else have any last announcements? Yes.
Well, I'm not sure if you have time on your agenda. I thought I was on the agenda today, and then we have a member, and I said Sarah, Southeast
you Sarah. Sarah was established about five and a half years ago as an advisory committee to Raleigh, the city council. And they would make recommendations and talk about what kinds of things needed to happen in Southeast Raleigh. Well, one of the big findings was that city government doesn't always allow you to do the things that you need to do in terms of change. It's a system of bureaucracy. So they decided that a non-for-profit should be established so that these things could happen. So that has been done. We are now Southeast Raleigh Assembly Incorporated. And I have some things to pass out to you. I just wanted to let you know that we're here. We're focusing on 5 focus areas: community capacity building, public safety, youth empowerment, business inequity, and housing. And one of the things that we're committed to doing, I've been talking to Mitch Silver, the Director of Planning for the city, is looking at crime prevention through environmental design. I have some things here to give you. I'll put them on the table in terms of the projects that we're starting to work on. We're really focusing a lot on, let me just give you a real quick overview of some of the programs that we are starting. I've been involved in community development work for about 30 years now. I'm real excited to be in Southeast Raleigh because Southeast Raleigh is, to me, in many ways, a cornerstone. These communities are really, really poised and ready for change and success, and there are a lot of resources here and a lot of brain trust and a lot of enthusiasm. So we are a flagship nonprofit organization, and our motto is to give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So everything we do is about sustainability. It's about helping people to access information, skills, and then take that and do something with it. One of the programs that we're starting now, I'm in the process of hiring staff, is we're starting a advocacy program called Negotiating Our Way. And Negotiating Our Way is like a 2-on-1 community system. I'm the only one at Sarah now. I'm the president, yet I handle between 40 and 50 calls a day in addition to setting up the organization. Some of the calls I get are from people who need help and they need it now. I like to tell a story. I talked to a woman about a month ago. In fact, she just called me last week to say thank you again. I have a new friend. She called up to say that her wheelchair broke and she fell. And she didn't know who to talk to get a new wheelchair. And someone, Councilor West told her to call me. So I rode over to her house, got her to sign a waiver that said that she authorized me to speak and advocate on her behalf. And I called Medicare, Medicaid, and I called Hub Around, and they're giving her a brand new, one of those automatic rolling things. That's the kind of stuff that, thank you. You know, people are busy. We just have to make a small investment. I had a woman who called to say that she had 3 kids and the electric company was about to shut off her utilities, and she admitted to me she had cursed them out, so she didn't feel comfortable calling again. I rode over to her house, got her to sign a waiver, and made payment arrangements for her. When they heard that the president of Sarah Incorporated was on the line, they were like, we're happy to work with her. But again, it's an issue about making an investment in our community. So I'm hiring someone for 30 hours to do that and community organizing work. And I should have them in place by May 15th. Another program we have is Southeast Raleigh Leadership Institute, and that is primarily for Southeast Raleigh nonprofits. We have some tremendous nonprofits here. And as you said so wonderfully, and you're thinking about this, looking out that these nonprofits can sustain themselves, that they become financially viable. Well, we're going to have an institute that will teach nonprofits how to write a grant, how to present themselves to funders, and all the things they need to know to be sustainable and successful organizations and be here for the long term. I've served as a funding administrator on a national level, and I've just finished my 3rd-year term as Governor's Crime Commissioner in the state of North Carolina. One of the things that I noticed was that I was familiar with a lot of the agencies applying for grants, and they were wonderful agencies, but they couldn't write a grant. And if I had followed the criteria that was set by the Governor's Crime Commission to select the grants, none of those folks would have gotten money. So I kind of developed my own criteria as best I could in terms of, I know this organization, I know how hard they work, and I would tell them, listen, you need to learn how to write a grant. If I have to drive to Asheville and help you do that, I will do that. So we need to teach our organizations how to present themselves, how to be up on the latest technology. We are going to do that for 50 organizations in Southeast Raleigh for free. And these are trainings that would cost $4,000 to $5,000 for 2 days. It's a 2-day institute. So we're doing that. Another program is relationship-based consumption. And rather than explain that, I'll give you an example as to what that is. You have a daughter, she's getting married. You don't have a lot of money, but you promised your daughter you'd give her a wonderful wedding. You are a seamstress. So you're going to make a dress and you know it's going to be killer. She doesn't have, she wants a really nice wedding cake. You can't afford that. And you realize the woman down the street bakes cakes and she bakes wedding cakes. You have a conversation with her. You agree to make a dress for her for some occasion at church, and she will make the wedding cake. No money is exchanging hands, but yet there is an exchange, consumption of goods within your community. And what happens is that we teach people how to create a virtual banking system. So there are credits that are made to the banking system. If you can't make the dress right away, there's a credit that goes in there. And so it's this way of empowering your community and keeping your wealth and things within your community, teaching people how to sustain themselves. There's a whole educational component about that, and we're going to be doing that work with Southeast Raleigh. We're bringing in national experts to teach communities how to do this. Jewels and Gems Internship Mentoring and Placement Program. We are developing, I have 14 people who said that they would serve as mentors. We're taking young men and young women and having corporate executives mentor. So these young people will not only shadow the executive, but they will be learning from them. The criteria for these mentors is that they have had to have grown up in less than perfect circumstances. So they have some understanding of what it's like not to have anything, but they are now at the top of their game, and that's what we want our children to experience. So we have a lot of interest in that area. And then we're hoping we're in the process of looking for a grant that will allow these children to be placed in those organizations, those corporate organizations. If a child wants to, or a young person wants to work in a not-for-profit, we'll make that happen too. But our focus is corporate, because we want children to know that they are not bound to work in a McDonald's and that's not to say that that's not a good thing, because many people, in fact, my board co-chair started out as a McDonald's counter person. He now owns 3 McDonald's in Southeast Raleigh. So, I mean, there's something to be said, but we want to expand, help young people transform the image of themselves. And so we're doing it through that program. Another program that we will have is an entrepreneurial and empowerment program. One of the things, and national data speaks to this, that women tend to become immobilized and despondent, particularly if they find that they're coming against walls around issues of poverty, that they can't get out and they have children. We're creating a program for them that will allow them to, it's a holistic approach to self-care. They will be able to understand what biofeedback is, to manage their stress levels. They will also be placed in positions where they have mentors, and they will have job training opportunities and a variety of other things, so that spiritual aspects of growth and development, so that they will have an opportunity to experience what being free feels like and having success. Using our Voice Public Policy and Community Engagement collaborative, that's a collaborative that teaches people how to use their voice to influence public policy, to influence the things around them that they want to see change. This kind of forum helps a lot. But people don't understand the power that they have to change the things that they don't like. So we will be teaching them. I have 4 attorneys signed up, a couple of people from Washington who do nothing but public policy will be coming in to help people understand what a white paper is, how to approach a legislature, those kinds of things. So there's a lot going on with us. Just real quick, a couple other programs. We have a community mediation program, and that's already started. And for people who, the courts are full of complaints, civil complaints, where people are, he's too loud or she's too loud, or landlord tenant. We will have a mediation program that will allow people to come to Sarah. There'll be a third-party neutral who can facilitate an agreement, keep this stuff out of court, and help us empower ourselves to reach our own agreements. If the case has been filed in court, then if the people choose to come to mediation, the court will recommend that, and whatever agreement they reach will be filed with the court. Nobody has to go to court. So this is another opportunity for us to empower ourselves within our community. Social Justice Video Book Club. It's a book club that is video oriented. Every month we'll get together and there'll be a social justice theme. This month it's Spike Lee's Requiem, looking at the whole issue of Katrina and how that happened, what resources were available, what weren't, and the people watching will have to develop alternatives to the plight of the individuals in there. Each person who comes up with a viable alternative will get a prize, not a cheap prize. So that's one way that we're using to empower people, is through video, through social justice issues. And then finally, we have a scholarship program. I'm taking $20,000 out of my budget each year and putting it into a scholarship program where adults and children can apply to a sustainable program. I had a kid who wanted to learn how to be a community organizer. I said, well, you write an essay. And make sure you're writing the essay and not your mom, because you're going to have an interview. The essay is written. There's a team of people that look at the essay. If the essay is acceptable, that child will get an all-expense, or adult, expenses paid trip to Washington, California, wherever training's going on. Because again, the thing is sustainability. Teaching that individual to learn skills that they can come back into their community and use. So we're here. If you want further information, you want to know when the programs are starting up, which ones have already started up, you can call me directly at 996-5715. That's 996-5715. That sounds like an infomercial, but if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
And I'd like to apologize. I put my brain on rewind, and Ms. Leader did several months ago request to be on the agenda, but I passed this and I forgot to put that on the agenda, so I apologize.
No problem. Feel free to take some of these subject books. They're very interesting.
Okay, if I could make an announcement, please, don't forget about the May 1st Lions Park Playground builds in the morning. Sign up ahead of time, please. Take some food with you. We've got plenty of it. I'm not going to eat it all myself, so make sure you grab something on your way out. Shirley, did you have one final thing? Oh yeah, make sure you turn your surveys in. Make sure you sign in. Thanks everyone. See you next month.